What if I told you that you can manifest $5,000 using this cutting-edge 2-minute brain hack? You don't even need to know where the $5,000 or more is going to come from. But this shift is going to change how your mind and your body receives money so that it opens up to $5,000 or more coming into your life. My name is Giselle Baumet. I'm a neuroscience master's grad candidate and a coach. And I get to work with brilliant women leaders, founders, and coaches as I help them open up to abundance with ease by removing the blocks that prevent it using my neural spiritual method. So let's get started so that $5,000 or more easily enters your life whenever you desire. Now, you do not need to believe this at all. In fact, trying to believe it first can make it take a long time for you to manifest money with ease. That whole idea that you have to believe it first is so outdated. Belief is simply hard to force when your nervous system doesn't feel safe in the very thing that you're wanting to believe. Emotional neutrality is way more powerful than belief. So the way to manifest $5,000 is not even by, I will manifest the end result of me having the $5,000, which requires you to believe. Instead, about creating safety in your body for that $5,000 to enter. Now, I could probably hear you right now, and you're saying something like, I feel safe. I want that $5,000. Like, there's nothing in me that doesn't want that $5,000. But then we'll have a deeper conversation and I'll learn things like when you receive more money, you go through it super fast. Is money in, money out. Or I'll learn things like when you receive money, you don't feel that it is enough. You can lose it, you have to hold on to it. In fact, I even had a conversation with someone who recently told me, using my methods, she manifested $7,000. And you know what? She felt in lack. She felt like it's not enough. I have to keep going. It's not enough. I have to keep going. I hear this often. And sometimes I'll even hear you saying things like, I manifest money and I just work harder. It doesn't even feel good in my body. I just have to keep going. I have to go even harder so I can manifest more money and everything in between. And it's often based on past patterns and past experiences and conditioning. And there's a lot of conditioning that's put on us women that does not serve us at all. Truly, you should be someone who money is just flowing through you just simply by you existing. It feels easy, it feels comfortable, it feels like freedom, not anything that takes away from you, but pours into you in a good way. So we have to create emotional neutrality and the space for the money to flow through in a way that feels safe. Now, the 2-minute process that I'm about to give you is going to do this for you. It's going to activate your part of your brain that decides, what do I notice? What do I notice and what do I pay attention to? Is also going to activate your parasympathetic system. So it's going to allow that part of your brain that makes creative decisions, that sees opportunities to really light up. And is also going to work with your vagus nerve so that you're able to experience calm when it comes to receiving $5,000 or more at ease. Now, this is really important for this. You are not in charge of how the $5,000 comes in. When I manifested $5,000, literally by just a side effect of what I'm about to teach you, it came as a complete surprise because I'm not in charge of how that money is going to manifest. I'm just creating space for it to easily arrive in my life without stress, without anxiety, without fear, without doubts. And at the same time, I'm changing the emotional memory of money for me because, like a lot of you, money memory for me had to do with working really hard. It had to do with it wasn't always enough. It had to do with some fear around it. So through this process, you are changing your emotional memory. When you change your emotional memory around money, you're working with your predictive coding. So it goes beyond the reticular activating system and what it filters. Now we're going into your coding, because your brain's job is not to see what is real, but to confirm what it expects based on your emotional memory. All you're gonna do is every morning, midday, and in the evening, you're going to do a 2-minute practice. For 30 seconds, we're activating your parasympathetic system through breath work. 30 seconds. All you're gonna do is you're gonna breathe in through your nose for a count of 6. You're going to hold it for a count of 2. You're going to breathe out for a count of 8. And then you just repeat that, breathing in for a count of 6, holding it for a count of 2, breathing out for a count of 8. As you're doing that for the 30 seconds, you're going to speak one emotional identity for yourself. You might use something like, $5,000 appears easily in my life. And you're going to say this with presence. You don't need to force anything, but what would that feel like? Use presence for that. 30 seconds. And then for 90 seconds, you're going to embody that. You're going to allow it to just sit in that emotion and just exist with that emotion for 90 seconds. And you'll simply do this in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at the end of your day. By the end of each practice, you might find that you're smiling. You're walking into the next thing that you do with that emotion. I recently had someone in my community manifest $5,000 through this fully covered getaway. And she credited a practice just like this that I taught in my community. I know that often things like this seem like, but don't I need to do more? Don't I need to do more? Like, I need to do more. That's just conditioning. We really, as women, have been taught that we need to do more in order to be productive, in order to have value. You actually need to do less, and you need to do way less of the things that you're chasing and way more of the embodiment. It can be that easy. Now, you too have access to the same process that the member that got the $5,000 all-inclusive paid vacation that she had access to is in my free community, and it's the 14-day challenge. Every single day, I give you just a few minutes of a practice that increases your frequency and connects you even more to your intuition. And with this 2-minute practice, you'll be surprised at how easily $5,000 or more appears in your life. It can be that easy, my love, because you are majestic. You are so much more powerful than you realize. And I cannot wait for you to realize it.